Okay, so let's be honest, guys. How many times have you watched Bryan Danielson's Wembley entrance? Are you in the hundreds yet? I bet you are. I bet you are. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about two huge AEW announcements that took place over All In weekend. Unfortunately, I was unable to cover these while I was in London, so you get a video on it now because I want to talk about these things, that being AEW Grand Slam in Australia and Forbidden Door in London. But before we dive into that, please hit subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below, please share this video. I'm trying to expand, I'm trying to grow with this drive that is sort of taken over following AEW All In, because I want to put 110% into this. So please show your love and support, share this video on your Twitter, your Facebook, however you want to share this, and hopefully, I can hopefully grow this channel a little bit more, and we will dive straight into this. So it was sort of leaked a little bit early about the Forbidden Door announcement. This sort of came due to something on Wembley Way showing the banner early, showing that Forbidden Door would take place in London in 2025. And the sort of Australian show had been rumoured. There'd been reports of this, that AEW was looking to run a show in Australia. And that has all finally been announced. It happened at AEW All In. We got video packages, we got dates, we got the full shebang. So we'll start off by talking about AEW Grand Slam Australia, which is taking place in Brisbane at the Suncorp Stadium. So this is going to be a stadium show. I'm not 100% sure on the capacity. That'll be above my face as I talk about this. So probably a big old stadium show. And from the looks of it, this doesn't look like it's going to be a TV special. This looks like it is going to be a pay-per-view. I don't know if Tony Khan confirmed that in the media call or anything like that, but from the way it's been advertised, it's taking place on February the 15th in 2025. This to me sounds like it's going to be a pay-per-view because AEW traditionally they have Revolution around this time. They sort of have it at the beginning of March because it usually falls around my birthday. So I think this will be a pay-per-view. I don't think it's going to be a TV special. I genuinely think we're getting a Grand Slam pay-per-view, and I think Grand Slam deserves to be its own pay-per-view. Like, it's cool for a TV special, but I also think if you want to attract more people, using Grand Slam as a pay-per-view event makes all the sense in the world. Like, I'm excited for this Grand Slam where we're going to obviously see Darby probably versus Bryan Danielson, but at the same time I think you can sell more tickets with it being a pay-per-view event and being a can't-miss event. How I think it will perform in Australia, I think it will do quite well. So from what I've heard and from what I've read looking into this, when Elimination Chamber took place in Perth is actually a sort of odd place to hold a pay-per-view because it's not sort of connected as well to other areas of Australia. So I think Brisbane, and I'm not claiming to be an expert in geography here, I'm really not. Brisbane, I believe, has more of those connections to other cities in Australia, so I think you can get a better travelling audience from around the country as a whole. So I think they'll actually do quite well. It comes off the back of, it was announced after that ESPN would be airing AEW in Australia, and that is going to be consistent rolling forward. So getting that exposure in Australia, obviously they wouldn't be doing this show unless they had good reason to. So obviously the data, the figures all show that they do have a following in Australia and they will be able to sell tickets. How many tickets? I don't know, unfortunately, but I think it's a very exciting prospect for AEW to be running a stadium show in another country. I think it's so cool. I think this entire global strategy that both companies are using at the moment is really, really exciting. It's really, really cool because you're just getting great wrestling wherever you live. So I think this is only positive for AEW moving forward. I hope we get more shows like this, probably in Mexico. I think will be the next one to be announced. And yeah, this is a very, very exciting announcement. I can't wait to see what comes from it. Okay, the one you've been waiting for. This is the one that directly pertains to me because I don't think I will be going to Australia in February, unfortunately. It looks very nice, but I don't think I'll be going. However, Forbidden Door was announced to be taking place in London on August the 24th, 2025. It seems like AEW has that weekend set. Like, that bank holiday weekend is completely set for them. It's 3 years in a row now, probably 4 years when they go back to Wembley Stadium in 2026. This seems to be their sort of their weekend. You know, they build hype around these shows by using lots of other indie promotions. All the indie promotions get really great exposure, really great talent, and it just becomes a hub of wrestling in the UK across this bank holiday weekend. And I think that being a tradition is really, really good, because people like me who are like, oh, it's the exact same time next year, I know when I'm booking off, I know when I'm going, I've done this before, and getting into that sort of habit, I think is really, really smart. It's really, really smart to get the audience on your side like that, particularly British fans. It falls on a bank holiday, and we love a bank holiday here in the UK. It being Forbidden Door, I think is really, really cool. I think Forbidden Door makes sense. It really makes sense, because I get that they're not doing All In again. That also makes sense. You know, you've done it twice in a row. Both times was amazing, but you do see diminishing returns in terms of that. So I think taking a year off, doing a Forbidden Door, probably at an arena, because there's been no venue announced yet. I imagine it'll be something like the O2. I don't know any others. People have said it might be Craven Cottage. We'll see. I imagine Forbidden Door will be an arena show, and I think that makes a lot of sense, really. But New Japan is actually really big here. Like, New Japan is a really... Like, we get exposed to wrestling here in the UK, but New Japan Pro Wrestling, they do Royal Quest. They have a lot of their stars showing up at, like, Rev Pro and stuff like that, and doing excursion to the UK, that it's actually quite a big deal that we're getting this. And one of the biggest stars of New Japan Pro Wrestling is an Englishman, is Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr., like, he's been a complete star this year. He's been absolutely incredible, tearing it up wherever he goes. And to have that sort of homecoming at a Forbidden Door show, I think is really, really good. I think this partnership is really sick. I hope we get Stardom and CMLL as well. I think this is just going to be incredible. Like, really, really excited for Forbidden Door. I think it just makes all the sense in the world. It makes all the sense in the world for this show to be in the UK, because you can have those stars align. Those, like, people we know from Rev Pro and Indies and the exposure that they've got, plus AEW stars. I think it just makes sense. I think it makes total sense. And I'm really excited for it. I think I could do a video on this. I might do a video on this, but I think you could probably guess what the main event will be. I would not be surprised in the slightest if the main event of Forbidden Door is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Will Ospreay. That makes all the sense in the world. But you could swerve it. You could potentially have, like, babyface Zack versus Swerve Strickland. I think that sounds really, really cool and really, really tasty. You could have potentially, depending on what happens with Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. again. There are so many different pieces in play with a Forbidden Door show that I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to be so unbelievably good, and I think it's been a great weekend for AEW in terms of their announcements and what they've put out. Like, I can't fault them. I think this weekend has been near perfect, topped off with these announcements. Hopefully we'll get that goddamn TV deal soon, because I'm sick of hearing about it, but hopefully we'll get it soon, and all the hate can just simmer down, and AEW is here to stay. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you excited for Brisbane? Are you excited for London? Let me know, and I'll try to reply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.